On today's podcast, we're going to be talking about why you feel like you're losing. And I want you to think about what that feels like when you feel like you're losing, and then you feel like you're losing, and then you feel like you're losing, and then you have to get up and almost like overcome this heel to keep taking action. Instead of when it feels like we're winning, it's like, okay, I'm going to take the next step. I'm winning. I'm going to take the next step. I'm winning. And then what ends up happening is you build this momentum. So it feels so much easier. It feels like you're kind of walking downhill where it's easier versus I'm having to like walk uphill. And so here's the difference. It depends on where your brain is focusing. So this could be in a couple different ways. One, it could be where your brain's focusing on everything you haven't done. So it's like because those things aren't done, then you're losing, or it's not good enough, or this isn't going to work, whatever your version of that is. And then it can also do this with the time frame, because sometimes what it likes to do is it's like, oh, I haven't made any money in a week. But then looking at it, what have you done over the month? Like if you spread out the time frame, how does that look different? And then from there, I want you to think about celebrating what you have done, because sometimes this may come up if we haven't created the result yet. So if we haven't created the result, then what can often happen is our brain's like, nope, we don't have the result, therefore we're losing. Don't have the result, therefore we're losing. Instead of, wait a second, what have I done? Maybe you haven't signed a client. And so your brain's like, nope, we haven't signed a client, not working, not good enough. Instead, it's like, wait, what have you done? Maybe you've made an offer. Maybe you've created value. Maybe you've created a post. Maybe you've put out content. Maybe you've talked to people about what you do. And then when you can start to see all of those things and you start celebrating each one of them instead of discounting them, what happens is you start to feel like you're winning. And when you start to feel like you're winning, you want to keep going. This can also show up with like different time frames where it's like, oh, I need to achieve this by this date, and therefore I'm behind. But when we put ourselves in a state of behind, we put ourselves in a state of losing. And when we put ourselves in that state of losing, what do we want to do? We don't want to keep going. And so I want you to think about, how can I reframe it? Maybe the time frame. How can I reframe what I'm focusing on? Maybe like not focusing on just that one result versus like all the other things you've done to move you forward, all the other uncomfortable things you've done to keep achieving your goal. And then from there, starting to celebrate those things so that you put yourself in a state of winning. And then when you're winning, you're going to want to keep going. Have you ever wondered why certain tools aren't working for you? Like writing a to-do list or scheduling things on your calendar or coming up with like your top 3 things you need to get done. If you feel like this isn't working and I don't know why, it's because your brain is in control of everything you do or don't do. And so where we actually want to start is with our brain. How do I get my brain to do something that it doesn't want to do? How do I get my brain to do something that it's actually avoiding? How do I get my brain to do something that actually is going to move me forward, even when it really doesn't want me to move forward at all? Go to successbykayla.com to get access to this video now. Because when you get access to the video, you are actually going to learn how to solve for the actual thing that's the problem. It's not the way that you scheduled your calendar. It's not the amount of things on your to-do list. It's not that you didn't prioritize right. It's that your brain is working against you. And if you want to work with your brain so that it's so much easier, go to successbykayla.com to get instant access to the video now.